everyone, welcome back to Devil's TV. This is Everton versus Manchester United preview. Unfortunately, I will be alone again today because my fellow companions are not available. Well, Yusuf said he might be available at this time, but I think it's out right now actually. Neil hasn't really been online today that much, hasn't really responded to my messages. He must be busy with stuff at college and all that. And Yash, he's probably busy with something as well. So yeah, it's me again today for the preview, second preview in a row. I'm alone, but yeah, it's a big game. This against Everton. Everton have been their form has been absolutely atrocious. They just can't seem to win a game right now. I mean, they conceded 3 goals to bloody Burnley. I mean, like, come on, at Burnley. If they're gonna lose to Burnley, you would think it would be a 1-0 or a 2-0, but 3-2 they lost to Burnley. They did well to score 2 goals because Burnley are a good organised defensive side, but they don't really have great forwards, and they don't even have Chris Wood anymore. But they still managed to score 3 goals past Everton's defence, and the Toffees are in a pretty tough situation right now because they're right now the 17th in the league, 1 point off Burnley. They're close to relegation. Frank Lampard's he's not done a good job so far at Everton. And I don't know what's going on with them. I mean, they have good players. I mean, they have Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Pickford. I mean, Pickford might not be a great goalkeeper, but he's at least a Premier League standard goalkeeper. At least that. I mean, yeah, they mean it's a decent centre back. Michael Keane, Seamus Coleman, Seamus Coleman. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Tom Davies, not Dick Nye anymore. That Anthony guy, Anthony Gordon, I'm pretty sure that was his name. The Kure, Alan, Donny Van de Beek now. I have no idea. I mean, like, those players that I mentioned, they aren't like amazing players, but they're not championship quality players. So I don't know what's going on with Everton. But yeah, we should be able to beat them. However, I mean, anything can happen, of course, in a game of football. But we should be beating them. I mean, if I look at the last few fixtures, their last 5 fixtures were a 5-0 defeat to Spurs, a 1-0 defeat to Wolves, a 1-0 win over Newcastle, a 2-1 loss to Everton, and a 3-2 loss to Burnley. So they haven't really been on good form, really, have they? And I mean, one thing, they don't really seem to keep a lot of clean sheets, Everton. They don't really seem to keep a lot of clean sheets from what I'm observing from their game so far in the Premier League. I mean, they have 1 clean sheet against Spurs. Is that the only clean sheets? Bloody hell, I think their only clean sheet is against Spurs. Now it's once. So we should be able to create a lot of opportunities in this game. Also, of course, match from United side. Team news. Varane's out again. Rafael Varane is Varane's out again. So. Of course, it's not ideal that Rafael Varane's out because we're gonna have to play Lindelof and Maguire sending back again. Don't necessarily have a problem with Lindelof, just Maguire starting. And Maguire is at least better with Varane, but he's just absolutely atrocious normally when he plays with Lindelof. And then Harry Maguire, he's been on diabolical form recently, atrocious form. Apologies for that. So yeah, I mean, also other team news. Luke Shaw is out. Don't really mind Leicester starting, to be honest. Luke Shaw was not good against Leicester. And yeah, he should. I would have started Tellez anyways. Against Liverpool, I am a bit concerned for Tellez though, because I think Mo Salah, at least Luke Shaw has proven that he can do well against Mo Salah. He's proven that before, like last season, when when it was in the nil game at Anfield, I believe it was. Luke Shaw was man of the match in that game. He was absolutely fantastic. He pocketed Mo Salah, and even Mane because they went to change him. So anyway, so he dealt with both Salah and Mane really well. But Tellez, I think he's okay defensively, but against one of the best, but against one of the best current, but against one of the world's best current players, I feel like Salah can tear him apart. But at least with Luke Shaw, you know that he has a chance of doing well. Of course, there's a chance of Tellez doing well, but the probability of Shaw doing well is higher because he's done well against Mo Salah before in the past. He's done well against like Shaw's done well against Salah in the past. But yeah, I'm talking about the Liverpool game, but it's the Everton preview. So Everton, I mean, I'm not really sure the style of football they play, but because I haven't really watched Everton, to be honest. But I did watch a bit of Chelsea under Frank Lampard, and they seem to love putting crosses into the box. They do that a lot. They put a lot of crosses into the box. They aren't really a defensive team. Like a Lampard system normally is a 4-3-3, and then they go for it. They put crosses into the box. They not really a defensive minded team. They're more of an attack. They're more of an offensive team. And I think United could exploit that, especially with Everton's defense being atrocious this season. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo is back for this game, which is it's obviously nice for United because we clearly missed him against Leicester. We just really missed a natural number 9 against Leicester. And then, of course, other team news is that Cavani's out, still out. Cells and there was one more player. Sorry. One more player. I forgot. Wait, who else was out? I believe it was Varane. Sure. Oh, McTominay is out, and to be honest, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Of course, I never wish injury on anyone. I think that should be a thing. Of course, I don't wish injury on McTominay, but I don't think missing Scott McTominay for this game will necessarily be a big loss. So I presume maybe Fred Pogba in the midfields. After starting 11, I think it'll be so Pickford in goal. I think. The interesting thing about Everton is that they could have actually had Romero as their goalkeeper. They tried to sign him in last summer. For some reason, we didn't sell him. I mean, and they ended up getting nothing for him. There's another example of the incompetence of his board. Of course, how could I forget to mention this? Eric Ten Hag, of course, is apparently really close to joining Manchester United. I'm not gonna make a video on it until it's announced, because like when it's announced, that's a green light for me making a video on it. Even for signings in the past, for Sancho, for Varane, for Ronaldo, I did all of those videos. We did all those videos on the Devils TV when they were announced by the club, or when they were like when we got Huey goals. When we got a Huey Go from Fabrizio Romano for those deals, or the club officially announced the deals, that's when we did those videos. So if Ten Hag to Manchester United, if Romano gives a here we go for that, then I'm on it. I'm making a video on that. But as of right now, it's just speculation, speculation. I mean, a lot of reports are saying it is done, so I think it probably might be done. But I'm just like after that Sancho summer, not talking about last summer, when that Sancho summer, bloody hell, I can't ever put 100% of my trust in this club ever again when it comes to transfers after that saga. We did end up getting him, but still, I'm just yeah. But yeah, I think Ten Hag probably will join Manchester United, but I'm just waiting for Fabrizio Romano here we go or a Manchester United announcements before I make a video on it, or we make a video on it on the Devils TV. So yeah, of course, after talking next to the manager, he was actually asked in his press conference about the managerial situation and about the Ten Hag rumors, and he said that he has a list of good coaches, and if Ten Hag is one of them, he is a good coach, so he is on that list. But he didn't say more than that. Which I mean, he's not going to announce it, is he? Like, imagine if he just announced it in a press conference. That'd be That'd be interesting, but I'm a bit crazy actually. But yeah, yeah. So the starting 11 against Burnley was Pickford, Braithwaite, Gerald Braithwaite, he's 19. Ben Godfrey. Okay, wait, where's Michael Keane? Isn't he like a pretty important player for them or something? Sorry about that. Yeah, okay. Ben Godfrey, of course, he's a great player. Mio Mykolenko, I'm not really, to be honest, I've never heard of him. John O'Kenny, I've never heard of him. The Kure, of course, I know. Holkits. They played a Warby in bloody midfields. No wonder they lost. They played a Warby in midfields. Gordon, Kaplu, and Richarlison. And on the bench, they had Ali, Rondon, Delph, Gray, El Ghazi, and other players, as I want to mention. Um, it's not that bad of a team. They shouldn't be 17th. I don't know why they're 17th. Um, Also, Arsenal playing Brighton tomorrow as well, so it'd be fantastic if Brighton could prevent Arsenal from getting the 3 points in that game. Villa playing Spurs as well, so hopefully Villa win their game. So yeah, I'm just gonna get to the starting 11, and I would speak for actually it's the starting 11 I'm drafting for a pick for this game. So yeah, hopefully you guys can see my screen. And yeah, in goal has to be David De Gea, BDG, is king, is king at the moment in terms of goalkeepers in the Premier League. It's fantastic, and yeah, has to be him. Center backs, I do think of the Maguire and Lindelof. I am not comfortable at all with Maguire and Lindelof being a centre back pairing. I mean, another reason we lost 5-0 to Liverpool, 2-0 to Man City, 4-1 to Watford, and 4-2 to Leicester with these two as our centre back pairing. And Lindelof, I think he's actually decent. Uh, I wouldn't say he's better than Maguire in terms of overall ability, but this season, of course, yes, he has been better than Maguire. But of course, but as a centre back pairing, it just don't work. It just don't work. At right back, I think it has to be the low. I don't think he was that bad against Leicester. Mambasaka, I don't trust him. So yeah, left back Telles, I would have started Telles against Leicester. Don't know why Shaw got picked. Maybe Ragnar wanted to give Jordan a chance, but gave him that chance, and Jordan did not take it. So I would throw Telles back into the lineup, and Telles will be shown back into the lineup because Shaw's out injured, unfortunately. Sorry. So CDM, because I'll be Reds, because McDominay's out. Good playing managers, but I didn't play Reds. And Bruno here, actually not Pogba here. Fred Bruno Pogba, not that bad of a midfield combo. I do think this is a midfield battle that we should be winning, especially if Lampard starts a Bobby in midfield again. After left, Elanga didn't really look all that good against Leicester, so I do think Marcus Rashford. So I do think Sir Marcus Rashford will come back into the team. And to be honest, I think relying on Elanga, I think it might be too much pressure for Elanga, and the pressure might get to him. So you know what? Let's give Rashford another chance, see what he does, and yeah. Alright, Sancho, one of our best players at the moment, on form. Of course, last game he wasn't good. So hopefully he improves this game. And at striker, Jadon Sancho. I'm not Jadon Sancho, it's already here. Ronaldo. Yeah, it's obviously fantastic that Ronaldo's back. Is a fantastic play for us, and yeah. So yeah, this is just the starting 11 I would pick. And I think that back, I will pick the starting 11 as well for our trip to Goodison Park against Everton in the Premier League. David De Gea in goal, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof as our centre back pairing, Dallas and Elo as our fullbacks, Fred, Pogba, Bruno as our midfields, Rashford and Sancho up the wings, and Ronaldo at striker. I think I think we just need to attack Everton. We need to attack. We need to just full throttle, go all out, attack Everton because their defense is vulnerable. And from what I just said, one clean sheet this season. That's all. To be fair, it was against Spurs, and they do have the likes of Kane and Son. So of course, keeping a clean sheet against Spurs is not easy. I mean, it's not easy keeping a clean sheet against Spurs. Sorry, just yeah, keeping a clean sheet against Spurs is not easy at all. However, but it's still like, but their defense is just so bad. And I think if we just make him go forward, make him go forward, make him go forward, make him go forward. But obviously, these three players have to go forward. But just get the ball to Pogba, Bruno, and let them do their magic. Get Bruno, Pogba, and Sancho linking up, creating chances for Ronaldo. Get Rashford. I would say normally his role is an inverted winger, but in this game I would just instruct him to put as many crosses into the box as possible. Get the low forward, get him to put the cross into the box. Get Dallas forward, get him to put crosses into the box. Get Pogba and Bruno on the edge of the box at all times. With Fred over here on the halfway line, ready to defend against Everton when they come at us. Get Maguire in the top. Don't get them far forwards because they won't have recovery pace to deal with the ball in behind. But just keep them here. But keep Fred here. And when Tellez goes forward, get Fred to cover this position. When Delo goes forward, get Fred to cover this position. And if both Tellez and Delo are have gone forward, and get Fred to cover this position, get Lindelof to cover this position, and leave Maguire alone in the box. That's what I would do. That's what I would instruct. I would start Ragnick. Um, get Bruno just try long balls with Bruno and Pogba. And yeah, so just get a ball to Ronaldo, create chances for Ronaldo, and he will most likely score them. And yeah, I think Everton's defense is really vulnerable, and I do expect to win this game. And I'm going to go for a positive 3-0 win as my score prediction for this game against Everton because I think they've been on atrocious form recently. It's the scoreline I would expect from a near relegation side like Everton because they have been like a relegation side this season. They're near relegation. So I would expect an easy win. But of course, unfortunately, in recent years, it's difficult to say. It's difficult to predict an easy win for Manchester United, but I believe that we'll do it. To be honest, it's probably more. Uh, though that statement I made is probably more from my hearts than my minds, but that doesn't necessarily a bad thing. But yeah. So yeah, Everton gonna be an interesting game. Watch along tomorrow on Red Devil TV, of course. So yeah, not really much less to talk about. So yeah, anyways, guys, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be notified when we upload our next video. I keep on forgetting to make the outro, bloody hell. Make sure to join the Football Alliance Discord server. Link is in the description below. If you're like me and you like chatting to people online about general football, you can go to the Football Alliance Discord server and chat about general football there. It doesn't only have to. It doesn't only have to be Premier League, La Liga, or Serie A. It doesn't have to only be the big leagues. I mean, I support Jamshedpur FC, which is my hometown club, in the Hero ISL, which is the number one league in India, which is where I'm from. And I can talk about Indian football in that server as well. You could talk about all kinds of football. You can talk about, of course, you can also, of course, talk about the European leagues, like the Premier League and the La Liga and those big leagues. But if you're like me, and you also support some smaller leagues in countries, smaller leagues, then you can but if you're like me, and you have a league that isn't really popular amongst, like for example, the Eredivisie, it's not really that popular, but you can talk about it in the server. Like you can talk about anything related to football. You can talk about it in the server. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later for tomorrow's watch along. Adios.